I'll start constructing up that next, and that will be our wooden storage area. Why do I have two separate storage areas? One for wood, one for everything else, so that we'll be able to easily delineate space specifically for wood. It's just something that I usually do. Okay, now that's taken care of. We're going to go ahead and we are going to plan out the next part of our little base here, which the next part is probably going to be our food oriented things. So food oriented things that are next up will be a kitchen, a dining room, and a food storage room specifically. The reason I use the 5x5 here so much is that it is fairly modular, it's fairly efficient, and it fits everything into the room fairly easily. Let's go ahead and do that. And I will branch off one side room here. Okay. Now, as previously mentioned, we'll get them to start building this up, and then we will work on additional parts and pieces of the base. I will be right back. Okay. I see that they haven't completely finished, but they've gotten started on it, which is good. Gotta make sure that we have enough supplies, so I'm gonna continue to have them harvest more trees for more wood. And it is important to get this out of the way early on. It is also important to stress one of the additional side aspects of this, which is I do not plan to keep building in wood for very long. In fact, I eventually plan on replacing all the wooden walls and doors, well, the wooden walls at least, with stone. Because Rimworld actually does have a very interesting and unique set of mechanics when it comes to fire. Specifically, wood will catch fire. Wooden walls, wooden objects, they're very flammable. 100% flammable. Now, metal objects, like say, no, not that one. It's going to be a little difficult to find an all-metal piece of furniture or building anywhere nearby that is... That's okay, that's a steel wall. Yeah. 40% flammable. So steel, we know wood is 100% flammable. Steel is 40% flammable. It will catch fire. It will burn. Bronze, which is a metal that's part and parcel to another mod, is also 40% flammable. This concrete sarcophagus, 0% flammable. 0%. It will not catch fire. It will not burn. A sandstone wall made out of sandstone bricks or blocks, 0% flammable. It will not catch fire. So metal walls and metal objects will catch fire. Wooden ones will definitely catch fire and burn. Stone objects will not. Stone items will not catch fire. Stone walls will not catch fire. So one aspect of living in a temperate forest is most things are flammable. Like the grass is flammable. All the little plants and stuff that you see over top of the brown dirt is flammable. A lot of the objects in this game also deteriorate when left outside, uncovered, and in an unenclosed space. Like wood. Wood will deteriorate outside over time. Packaged survival meals will. Weapons, armor, clothing, all that will deteriorate over time. Silver will not. Steel slag chunks will not. Steel will not. A lot of items that are made out of metal that aren't weapons or clothing will not degrade outside. So let's go ahead and set up a dumping stockpile right there, and another one right there. We'll have this one set up for chunks. Clear all things. Chunks. And we will also clear stuff there as well. We'll clear all of that, in fact. And we'll go over here. Manufactured resources. No. Raw resources. Stone blocks. Set. Okay. So why did I just do that? I just set up a pile, or a stockpile zone for rock chunks of all types. Marble, granite, sandstone, whatever. Will my colonists go and grab those automatically? No, they will not. You have to select them and tell them to haul them. Your hauler, if they're not terribly busy, or haulers, depending on how long you've been playing or how many pawns you have, will then start to pick them up and move them if there's no other items which may or may not take priority. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a designation for another building set. In fact, it's going to be a double building set. I'm actually going to go ahead and copy the settings from there, delete that, and move this to there, and paste the settings back over. So now our stone blocks will be over here instead of over here. I'm also going to set up a stonecutter's table in here, and I'm going to forbid it so that they don't build it. I'm going to go ahead and get a stool, a wooden stool. Have that also placed and forbidden so they don't build it yet. Okay, they're sleeping, they're having a wonderful time, they're enjoying life. I'm going to go ahead and have them build a torch in there so that they will have light eventually. Okay, and as soon as they're all done sleeping, I will go ahead and start upgrading their barracks. Darn it. Had my fingers over on the wrong keys. There we go. And I'm going to have our builder prioritize building 3 new beds. Actually, we need to get that torch first, because the torch will help us. Pawns need light. And inside of rooms that don't have a light source, but have a rooftop covering them, there is darkness, which will reduce their efficiency of building or performing tasks. So you need to have a light source present and available. Okay, and I need to set their food restrictions to include the packaged survival meals when possible here, because they've already started to suffer from malnutrition. So one of my colonists has had a mental break. Another one has collapsed from extreme malnutrition. The one that's currently having a mental break will eventually collapse from malnutrition as well, but it will take time. And since he's having a mental breakdown, I can't stop him and have him go eat. Larky here, I need you to go and prioritize another bed. Since we're upgrading from sleeping spots on the ground to beds, this is actually going to be really, really good for their comfort, as well as their ability to regain stamina on their rest stat whenever they sleep. Because beds are much more comfortable and helpful for sleeping. Unfortunately, Lurky keeps botching construction on the beds. There he goes. So now he has his own bed. So he's happy. He'll go ahead and he'll rest up. Once his sleep meter is full, which won't take very long at all, he'll go back to work and we'll get the last bed built, and then we can finish our food facility, and then we can work on our crafting facility. Okay, and one of our pawns has indeed starved to death. This does happen, and it is unfortunate. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, as part of the tutorial, I'm going to have my pawns dig a grave for Callie. Alright, good, she's buried. We're all set on that. Now, since she is dead and gone, we need to make sure that we have Everlay and Larky working. Everlay is still going to have his mental breakdown, which is not good, but we'll manage. Alright, looks like the bulk of that facility is almost finished. We'll go ahead and get a butcher table placed. Build a copy of a stool there. Get that in there. A light source there, a light source there. Forbid that, forbid that. A fueled stove. Go ahead and forbid that. Get that stool there. Forbid it. Furniture. And we're going to go ahead and do a 1x2 table right there with 2 wooden stools. Okay. I would like you to finish building the roof areas for our rooms there. Thank you. Don't have to worry about building the 3rd bed for the moment. And of course, Larky is back to doing what he does. she does. She'll get all of this built up eventually. The crafting area will get built. Once the crafting area gets built, we'll have everything get nice and organized and stable. We'll get some crops started, maybe have our planter go hunting. And the other person will work on turning marble chunks into marble blocks, or other blocks of stone into, or other pieces of stone into blocks, and moving them into this pile here. And then we'll start creating buildings with stone and reinforcing what we already have, fixing things, you know, all of that. Okay. Okay, and there's a mad squirrel. Okay. So we'll have this done in just a moment for the stove, all the other parts and pieces. Alright, so what I've done so far is designated this to be our new food storage, designated this to be a new animal corpse storage for fresh only, designated this for rotten animal body storage, and designated this to be our finished meal storage. Which means, if I come in here, shut that off, any meals that are now produced or that were in this stockpile will be taken over here and placed here. So when they get up in the morning, they just go here, grab meals, go to the table, eat at the table, and they're happy. Alright. We're going to go ahead and take this zone and expand it over here. And we'll set this to a steel storage. Prioritize cooking. Construction can go down a notch. Everlay, I will have you become our hunter. Grow, plant cut, hunt. Okay. Larky, I'm going to need you to drop the sniper rifle. Larky, sorry, yeah. Equip the sniper rifle, thank you. Larky, go ahead and equip the revolver. There we are. And since Everlay is now awake, we will have him start practicing hunting on squirrels. Squirrels are easy targets, they don't fight back, and they are fairly decent for practice. Alright. So now Everlay is going to go ahead and start hunting after he does his little grave visit activity that he's doing. Larky, when Larky wakes up, will prioritize cooking and then construction and then hauling and then cleaning in that order. Which will mean that hopefully we'll get the roofing finished and then actually get the bench and the chair finished. All that said, we should be able to get this done in fairly short order. That will be it for the first 3 videos here. I will break this up into several videos, so it should be fairly straightforward. Alright. Thank you very much for observing my videos, and I hope to see you another time.